Hi, you guys, welcome. And for those of you new here, welcome to my channel. I am Emily. I am so grateful for every single one of you that has subscribed and is part of this community. You know, when I started this channel a little over a month ago, I was expecting that maybe in the first 6 months we might reach 1,000 subscribers, and it's been a little over a month ago, and we're almost at, I don't know, 800 and something, which tells me that there is a need. There's a need for people to feel like they belong, that there's a connection, that they're part of a community, that they're not alone. And that is more than anything, if I can come on here with these videos and share my experience and share my life in hopes of inspiring you, encouraging you, then, or just making you feel like you're not alone, just read the comments. Read the comments, you guys, that all of the other subscribers have written. We are so much more alike than we are different. And so I'm going to keep doing them. I'm going to keep putting time in, putting the effort in, because I feel like it's such a calling. For those of you that don't know, I'm 58 years old. I've been divorced twice. After my second divorce, or actually during, I started journaling a lot. The journal turned into a book, Rising Up, Take Charge, Break the Cycle, and Rebuild a Kick-Ass Life. And it started as a journal because I was documenting everything that I was learning, everything that I was discovering about myself, everything that I thought I knew but really didn't. I just took a real deep dive into my life and into how did I get here. I was broke, I was broken, and I had had a pretty good life up until that point. I was very resourceful. I was working for one of the biggest cosmetic companies in the world. Everything was good, life was good, until it wasn't. And so I today want to talk about, well, what I want to say to you all is just keep going. Just keep fucking going, you guys. No matter what, keep going. Don't worry about next year, next month, next week, even tomorrow. Don't worry about that. Concentrate on today. Concentrate on the present moment, because that's all that really matters. You know, about 7 or 8 years ago, when I started this journey of rebuilding my kick-ass life, and after I left my marriage with no money, no job, no support, I read this book by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. And what I got more than anything from that book is that all we have is right now. All we have is this present moment, right now. And right now, are you safe? Like right now, I look around and yes, of course, we all have worries and we all have, stresses. But in this present moment, I'm sitting in my bedroom. It's quiet, it's peaceful, and I am safe. And so when we are so depressed or sad all the time, it is because we are stuck in the past. We're thinking about things that happened to us or that didn't happen for us, and all of the trials and tribulations that we went through, and maybe things that we miss, and we're stuck there when we're sad and depressed. And when we are over anxious and have so much anxiety and worry so much about what could happen, what might happen, then that's because we are stuck in the future. We get anxious when we worry about the future. And I get it. I mean, we're all human, right? So worrying about the future right now with the state of the economy and the interest rates, and some people can't even afford groceries, for God's sake. It's just become crazy. There's so much happening in this world that we can look at it such a negative. Wars and poverty and all of that. And so when we make a concerted effort to stay present and stay in the moment, it's a much easier way to navigate through life. And the reason why I got sort of inspired to do the video today, so back in 2010, I started watching this reality show, Sister Wives. And Sister Wives is about polygamy, and it was a husband who at the time had 3 wives, and then he brought on a 4th wife. And when he brought on the 4th wife, it created a lot of problems. By the way, can I just backtrack and say that I believe, in my opinion, that the husband, Cody, is a complete narcissist. Just my opinion. Anyway, when the fourth wife came on, it created a lot of issues with the kids. He had 3 other wives and they all had kids. And so one of those children, and I feel like you get to know them, and I can relate to this because I have a son who is on The Bachelor and is very involved in reality TV. And so I do know a lot of the behind the scenes and how many people are really affected by being on reality TV because there's so many pressures. But anyway, my point is that this child that I started watching from 2010 to now 2024 committed suicide yesterday. And I was really taken aback because I thought, my God, how lonely and hopeless and helpless and defeated must you feel before you go to that extreme? And so my point is, no matter how bad things get, no matter how, you think that maybe you can't do it, you can't survive, you can't do it on your own, you're scared, just keep going. Like I said, don't worry about the future, don't worry about tomorrow, just today, one foot in front of the other, baby steps. When I left my marriage, I'm gonna read something to you that I wrote at the beginning of my book. For those of you that don't know me, after my second divorce, I left a very financially privileged marriage. That's all I had, though, was financially privileged. I felt like really I had nothing else, nothing. I had everything and I had nothing. That is the way I like to refer to it. Nothing that really mattered, I didn't feel safe or loved or appreciated or respected or an equal. Finances, there was never a shared bank account. I had to rely on him for money, and he gave me a paycheck, but it was all sorts of wrong. And although I didn't have the financial burden of having to support myself, and there was lots of stuff, cars, multiple cars, luxury cars, and vacation properties, everything society says you need to be happy, I really wasn't happy. And so when I made that fateful decision to leave the marriage, knowing I probably was not going to get support and that I was in for the fight of my life, which I was, it was 3 years of fighting in court, and had not worked for over 10 years. I had no job, had no income, and I wasn't going to get support. And while I was journaling, and then the journal became my book. And this is how I start my book. My life as I knew it changed drastically one ordinary fall day in the middle of September. I made a decision that day that would forever alter the way I viewed life and ultimately the way I lived my life. That day, I decided to finally and permanently get off the longest emotional roller coaster ride of my life. I decided once and for all to end my marriage. Leaving behind a life full of excessive affluence and abundant financial security, I dove full force into a life of complete uncertainty. What followed immediately after was this incessant feeling of self-doubt, fear, anxiety, and non-stop worry. However, little did I know at the time that everything I gave up would never be as valuable as everything I would ultimately gain. That day, when I made that decision, I gained myself. And so the book really is it's almost like a little self-help manual. It's full of rebuilding a kick-ass life tips and just life lessons, like a life lesson, letting go of attachments to material possessions, letting go of attachment to old belief systems. I can't do it. I'm never going to do it. I'm not good enough. Who's going to want me? I've been divorced twice. I might as well just stay. This is a better life than what's out there. It's so unknown, and I'm never going to be able to make it on my own. So I had all of those fears and anxieties and worries. And I'm here to say that 7 years later, I am okay. I'm okay. I figured it out. And there's so many financially successful people in this world that went through so much struggle and probably wanted to quit so many times, and they just persevered and persevered and persevered, and they are okay. And I actually end the book by saying that faith is not about everything being okay when you have faith. Faith is about everything. Faith is about being okay no matter how things turn out. There's no guarantees in life. I don't know how my story is going to end, but I have faith. Faith is not about everything turning out okay. Faith is about being okay no matter how things turn out. And it's just so weird how, and I've talked about this before, how the universe or God or whatever conspires to work with you when you're on this road of self-improvement and self-discovery and just trying to become a better person. Because I feel like at the time when I needed it most, whether it was money or support or whatever, it just came. It came. And you know, just recently, I was having a financial freak out. So I'm a stager, interior decorator, and my business. I have a business partner. Excuse me. I have a business partner, and so we work with realtors, and the real estate market is just terrible right now. And the business is not as financially profitable as it has been in the past. And I was sort of starting to have like these financial anxiety, right? Because even when you're a realtor, you never know when your next paycheck is coming. And I work with the realtors. So if they don't have homes to stage, then, you know, it's tough. So just a few months ago, just before Christmas, my fridge broke down. I needed a new fridge. I have a veneer. This one actually. It broke. And so to get a new veneer, it's like, oh my God, $1,200 just for the tooth. It's like a $2,000 thing. And my car broke down, which, by the way, you guys, my car, it's a Mercedes. I've had that car for 12 years. It was actually a car that I had when I was still married. And I am going to drive that car into the ground. But that car ended up costing me $5,000. So in 1 month, I had a little over $10,000 in expenses. And I was like, oh my God, not to mention you got to pay your property taxes and your insurance. And I think that month, my total cost for that month were like a little over $15,000. And I was starting to have like a panic attack, because now when you're on your own, right, you've got nobody to depend on but yourself. You've got to land on your own 2 feet. You got to figure it out. There's nobody that's got my back. There's nobody saying, hey, you know what? I got you. Let me take over. The only person I can count on is myself. And then I got a letter in the mail from Mercedes, and there had been a class action lawsuit. And if you had a car that was more than 10 years old, there was some recall that they were doing, and there was a class action lawsuit, and I got a check in the mail for a little under $4,000. I think it was like $3,800. And I was just like, oh my God, how does this happen? And I feel like that happened so many times. Can you leave a comment if you guys have had that, where like at the 11th hour, something just comes through, something just turns out, it's like God is conspiring to work with you to make it work? Or yeah, I've had that happen so often. And so that's my point. Just keep going. Don't worry about next year. Just do what you can today to make it better. Do what you can today. I know it's easier said than done. I know. I get it. Like I do, you guys. Oh, fuck, I get it. So many nights I spent crying on the bathroom floor, so many nights crying myself to sleep, so many nights filled with so much worry and anxiety, so many. And I wish I had known then what I know now. You know, like statistically, we worry so much about things that never even happen. I think it's like 90% of what we worry about never even comes to fruition. And so I just started changing my life a little bit. I started really concentrating on where my money was going, where I was spending. Today, I don't feel the need to keep up with the Joneses. I don't feel the need to have the latest trend. I don't feel the need to drive a brand new car. My car's 12 years old. I don't feel the need to buy things to impress people, people that I probably don't even really like. And so where I spend money today, and I'm really fortunate, I'm so fortunate. One of my sons is a pilot, so I get a lot of perks that way. Because I was going to say one of the biggest thing for me today, being almost 60, is I choose now financially to spend money on experiences, on life, on collecting memories, on doing things, spending money where I can enjoy my family, enjoy my friends. I don't need to, have I love my home. Don't get me wrong. I do love my home, but I don't feel the need to have the perfect house or to get the latest this or the latest that or the latest gadget or the weather. I just don't, because all of this is temporary. Nobody's getting out alive. Nobody. This is all staying behind. This house that I live in, I've said this before, in 20 years, 30 years, I don't know, maybe even 10 years, my home is going to be somebody else's home. This is all temporary. And so I've just had such a shift in the way I view life, the way I live life. I live more simplistically. I enjoy things that are free. Nature, going for a hike in the woods, just enjoying time with family and friends and laughing and creating memories. That's what's important to me. I don't need the latest pair of boots or the latest whatever. And so if you're feeling that you are in a position right now where you feel defeated, you feel hopeless, helpless, stuck, just keep going. Just keep going. So many people in this world, in this lifetime, have felt the same way that you feel and have just stepped through it and have eventually come out on the other side. And listen, one other thing I want to say, as a mother of 2 boys, if you're a man listening to this, and even if you're not, don't feel less than because you're struggling. Don't feel bad because you're crying. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to ask for help. I know I have a big problem with that. I am working on that daily. I can do it myself. I don't need anybody. I'll just suffer and struggle through it on my own. It's okay to let people know that you're not okay. It's okay to tell your friends and family, I'm not doing well. It's okay to ask for help in whatever capacity that might be. Maybe it's financial. Maybe you need a little help financially. It is okay. Don't feel like you are not good enough or that you can't measure up or that it makes you look weak if you are having a moment. That's all I wanted to say today. That's all I wanted to say. I want to say thank you so much for all of you that are here. Hopefully through my videos, if I can just help one of you just have a better day or bring a smile to your face, then that is my intent. I went through a really, really rough time. And it's not, even though I'm here trying to inspire, encourage, motivate, I still have days. Yeah, I still have days. I'm completely on my own. I've been on my own for 8 years. Most of the time I'm happy. I am innately a happy person. But yeah, there are days where I, have a moment, take a moment. And I know that now what I know more than anything is that moment will pass. This too shall pass. I'm going to feel down today. I'm going to sit in it and then it'll pass. Feeling a little down today just because of the news of this little boy. Well, he's not little. He was little when I started watching him on TV. He's now 25. Took his own life. And that to me is so sad. So sad. So sad that you can be that far gone. And so take a moment to have gratitude, concentrate on what you have rather than what you don't have. Look around you, be thankful. I've said this before in a previous video. I was just in Madagascar, one of the, I think the 4th most impoverished countries in the world. And wow, they really put things in perspective. Seeing those little kids with tattered clothes and no shoes and dirty and happy. Just happy, and they had nothing. And so how grateful are we? How grateful are we to get to live in a country where we have homes and warm beds? These little kids had dirt floors in their huts, and they were happy. It's all perspective. So gratitude, and more than anything, just keep going. One foot in front of the other. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe, like, comment, because the comments help everybody. And let's bring more people into this community, people that might need a little, I don't know, encouragement, a little help, a little, love. What about love? Just let's just share the love. Okay, guys, that's it. Have a great day. I'll see you soon here on Trying to Rebuild a Kick-Ass Life. I am Emily, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. And if I'm being repetitive in some of these videos, I apologize. I just feel like there's so many new people coming on. We're, like I said, at almost 800 now in a little over a month, that I don't want you to miss the message.